Mr. Carney is now proposing hundreds of millions of billions of dollars in additional spending. Let's be clear on this. Mr. Carney has not proposed a single penny in cost reductions in this government. To be clear, the Liberals have not promised to build a rapid train. What they've promised is that they will do 5 years of study, and that after that 5 years, if they're re-elected 2 more times, then they might put a shovel in the ground. But we will be rebuilding our military, and that will require more money. I've already said that I will cut back on foreign aid, back office bureaucracy, procurement boondoggles, to put the money into frontline support, to fill the vacancies, to arm our troops, and to buy the equipment we need. We will have 4 new massive heavy icebreakers to reclaim our Arctic waters. We will buy the Poseidons. We will have fighter jets, a new base, the first Canadian base in the Arctic since the Cold War, CFB Iqaluit. I'm here today to tell you that change is on the way. The new Conservative government will reverse the catch and release laws of the Liberal government, the early bail, the house arrest, and the law allowing Paul Bernardo out of maximum penitentiary into a medium. We will repeal C-75, C-5, and C-83, and we will bring real change to put victims first. Today, though, I will focus specifically on intimate partner violence with a 3-step plan. 1, we'll create a new criminal offense for assault of an intimate partner. This will deliver tougher sentences for those who do domestic violence. 2, there will be jail and not bail as a default for people who are accused of domestic violence, so that they cannot be released on the street and re-offend against their victims. Those that in rare cases do get bail will have to wear an ankle bracelet for monitoring. Any breach of conditions would result in immediate imprisonment. 3, we will end the senseless practice of downgrading murder of an intimate partner to manslaughter simply because the murderer claims that it was a crime of passion. A Conservative government will make sure that anyone who murders their intimate partner, their child, or their partner's child will have a first-degree conviction. We'll reintroduce the law of Senator Boisvenu Bill S-265, which will increase protections for victims of crime. My Conservative government will ensure that criminals stay behind bars and victims stay safe. We will lock up violent abusers longer to keep them away from children and women, and we will bring home the safe communities that Canadians deserve. Canada should be a safe place for law-abiding people, a country that protects its citizens here at home and against foreign threats as well. Over the last 3 terms and 10 years of the Liberal government, Canada's gotten more dangerous, and people are afraid. Violent crime has skyrocketed by 50% nationally, and communities across Quebec feel it just as well. We need a new Conservative government that will stop crime, restore safe streets, and put Canada first for a change. A government that will restore Canada's promise, where hard work leads to a great life in a beautiful and affordable house on a safe street, protected by strong laws, brave police and soldiers, and watched over by the proud Canadian flag. That's what it means to put the rights of victims first, to put Canada first, to put our future first, for a change. Thank you very much, and let's bring it home.
Yes.
Yes, so after the lost Liberal decade, they've promised these rapid trains about 15 or 20 times. And of course, here we are a decade later, and there's not a single meter of track laid to build it. To be clear, the Liberals have not promised to build a rapid train. What they've promised is that they will do 5 years of study, and that after that 5 years, if they're re-elected 2 more times, then they might put a shovel in the ground. But we have to protect taxpayers. Of course, I will grant rapid permits for all manner of projects that are financed by the private sector. That's how we get things built in this country. We know that after the lost Liberal decade of costs and crime up and our economy down under America's thumb, we can't afford to give them a fourth term in power. We need a new Conservative government that will protect taxpayers, get things built, bring home our jobs so we can stand up to the Americans from a position of strength for a change. Yes, thank you very much. Well, it won't, my approach won't have an impact on Radio-Canada, but you know, I find it interesting that Mr. Carney is now proposing hundreds of millions of billions of dollars in additional spending. Let's be clear on this. Mr. Carney has not proposed a single penny in cost reductions in this government. He is now proposing to stack billions more costs on top of an already morbidly obese government. He was the economic advisor to Justin Trudeau while they doubled the debt, doubled housing costs, and delivered the worst inflation in 40 years. And now he says that if he's elected to a fourth Liberal term, he will make government and therefore the cost of living even more expensive. We need a change, folks. We can't go on spending money we don't have on things we don't need, or our people are going to end up with even more brutal inflation. I will be cutting waste, bureaucracy, consultants, foreign aid, and other unnecessary expenses to reduce taxes, debt, and inflation.
Steve Chase from the Globe and Mail. Good morning.
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Nice to be in Quebec.
It's wonderful to be here.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Marco Rubio was in Brussels yesterday, and he was talking to NATO allies. He said the United States expects all NATO allies, including Canada, to raise defense spending to the equivalent of 5% GDP. So I ask you, as if you were to be elected, if you were to form government, would you commit to reaching 5%? And during your directions, or in your directions to the armed forces as Prime Minister, would you instruct them to prepare war plans to defend us against the United States?
Thank you for your question. We will be rebuilding our military, and that will require more money. I've already said that I will cut back on foreign aid, back office bureaucracy, procurement boondoggles, to put the money into frontline support, to fill the vacancies, to arm our troops, and to buy the equipment we need. We will have 4 new massive heavy icebreakers to reclaim our Arctic waters. We will buy the Poseidons. We will have fighter jets, a new base, the first Canadian base in the Arctic since the Cold War, CFB Iqaluit. And we will once again have a strong and proud military that can defend our territory. Our main focus will be on our territory. I will say to the Americans that if we can get a rapid conclusion to this ridiculous trade dispute in a way that protects our sovereignty, ends the tariffs, then I will put all the proceeds of that additional trade to work rebuilding our armed forces for a change. And that will be a necessity, I think, for our NATO allies and for our American neighbors. But we're going to make our own decisions on exactly how much we spend. We're going to make our own decisions about our military. We will protect our sovereignty against the Americans. We will be a nation that stands on its own 2 feet, stands up to our foes, protects our territory, and honors our troops. Thank you very much.
En français.